A 6-year-old boy in Mpumalanga has been hospitalized after being beaten with an axe, allegedly by his grandmother. The boy was found taking refuge in a classroom after other pupils had gone home. The grandmother has been arrested and subsequently released on 500 rand bail. For more on this story, we're now joined on the line by Mpumalanga Police spokesperson, Brigadier Lina Tlati. Brigadier, thanks for your time. It's unfortunate it's under these kind of circumstances. But first, let me start by asking the state of this child. What's the latest insofar as his health of mind and body is concerned?
Good morning, Ayanda. Well, the child is fine. He's now handed over to the place of safety. Social workers are looking after him because we cannot take him back to the house again because he's definitely going to face the same grandma. So we thought he should stay at the place of safety whilst we're dealing with the case.
Yeah, and perhaps let's take a step back. I mean, tell us what you know to have happened.
Yeah, what happened is that on the 14th of this month, we were summoned at a particular school in Mayflower, where our police, when they arrived there, they found a 6-year-old boy who was traumatized. And further checks on the boy, it was found that he was severely assaulted. And they explained to us that he's actually living under those circumstances for quite some time. The person that is allegedly involved in the saga, it came forth that is the grandmother, 40-year-old grandmother. And we then started with our investigations that led us to the arrest of the grandmother, who was then granted bail of 500 rand on Wednesday when she appeared before court. The child was then transferred to the hospital. This actually happened after he was found by a passerby on the streets who identified him only through the uniform, that this uniform belongs to a particular school, and was then taken to that school where a teacher was busy locking classes, was surprised to find a child around 3:30, still at in one of the classes. He then called for the other teachers to come and see as to what was happening. That's when then they identified this whole problem, and police were then brought into the picture. So we're happy that the teachers managed to be at school at that particular time, because definitely the child was definitely going to spend the night in the classroom.
Sure. There's obviously a whole lot of questions surrounding the environment in which the child was in. We hear that the grandmother is obviously at the center of it. Any word on the parents or any other adult who might have been present where the 6-year-old lives?
Well, there is none, because the grandmother is staying alone. The mother is nowhere to be found. We were given a number so that we can try to trace the mother. Unfortunately, the number, we're told that it has not been working for some time. We did try it ourselves. It's not working. So apparently the mother brought this boy around December because she could not continue taking care of him, and from there she went missing. She's not found up until now. We're told that she's around, lingering around Johannesburg. So that is actually a problem. So we're making a call to the community, Ayanda, to say, when you spot something that is untoward, please inform the police. When we talk about violence, against children, it's rife, but the problem is that these things are happening in closed doors. So we're calling on the committee, if you see something where a child is being abused, do not hesitate to call the police immediately.
Yeah, and let's talk about the alleged abuser then. Granted 500 rand bail, on what basis was she released?
Well, she was released to go back home because I think she has got other children to look after. The reasons that, she furnished before the court made the court to grant her that particular bail. We do not have a problem about that. The court has got responsibility to do what is, supposed to be done within its midst.
Wow, it's not a very consoling idea that she's got other children to look after, considering that she's, facing allegations of having admitted this kind of violence on one of them. And perhaps this is, an issue that should be ventilated in court over time. How many other kids is she looking after, and how old are they?
Well, I do not want to dwell on that, but what I can tell you is that there is a little baby that we saw that was still, suckling milk from her, which means now she's got a little baby that she has to care for.
When is she expected back in court?
She's coming back again on the 30th of March, the same court, theoretical court, Mayflower.
And in the interim, I imagine the 6-year-old is not going to be living with her.
No, definitely. The 6-year-old has been kept under the care of social workers, whilst they also carry their own investigations and see as to where the boy can be permanently kept.
All right. We'll leave it there. I understand, of course, investigations are still continuing. Again, it's concerning at best that she's allowed to go back to look after other children if indeed she's the one responsible for have committed this kind of violence against a 6-year-old.